Justin Trudeau has today finally resigned as Prime Minister of Canada. And so here I have my good friend, a Canadian political commentator, and the ledge himself, David March, to give us the reactions and tell us what happens next. Hey up, everyone. Welcome to Political Nerds. I am Steph the Alter Nerd, your nerdy political guide from Washington, D.C. to Westminster and beyond. And in today's video, I am here with my good friend, a Canadian political commentator and the ledge himself, David March, to give us the reactions and tell us what happens next now that Justin Trudeau has officially resigned as Prime Minister of Canada. Now, to be fair, I have been following this story very closely, David, and it does seem like calls for his resignation have actually been ongoing for quite a while now. So for those that are not in the know, why is that? Why have there been so many people for so long asking him to resign?
It's because people really don't like him and the policies he pursued, especially after COVID lockdowns and stuff like that happened, and his really vicious level of enforcing the jab on people on the populace, and this all eventually exploded with the trucker revolt, which I have friends who are cabinet ministers at the provincial level who are telling me they didn't want to bring in like the vaccine mandate passports that they brought in briefly, but they needed political. It was polling at 60%, so they felt obligated to do it. And when the truckers' revolt happened, it gave all the provincial governments cover to basically repeal all the lockdown restrictions.
Uh,
But Trudeau kept them going for months after all the provinces came. That's like the second time I went to England. Sorry, the first time I went to England, I had to wear masks on the plane, both there and back, even though there was like nobody else was doing that anymore in the world.
And so, what was eventually for you the straw that broke the camel's back that eventually led to Justin Trudeau resigning today?
There was the Angus Reid poll, which is a gold standard pollster for Canada. That poll came out last week showing his party which is now at currently 153 seats, and you need 174 here to form a majority, was going down to 6.
Huh?
Yeah, they were projected to lose 147 seats.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned that, a lot of the revolt against Justin Trudeau is all surrounding his policies regarding the COVID situation.
Hmm.
Was there anything else that he did in Canada that also led to this revolt?
Oh yeah, definitely. The what happened with Freeland, the deputy prime minister, who he was dumping in favor of other people, like demoting her heavily. She was going to be the trade representative to the United States, except she had no cabinet backing and no staff. They were basically dumping her down in the States for. So that led to a lot of. She's very popular, and I don't like her, but she's very popular within the Liberal cabinet when she sniped him in the back by like publicly like resigning in the way she did without even telling him that she was going to do it. She got a standing ovation by the Liberal caucus when she walked in there. So I don't think she's going to run for the leadership. The Liberals, because I don't think she wants to be leading apart the third or fourth smallest party in the MP. But there's definitely already one guy's put his name in for the leadership. He's got his website up and going already.
Wow. So some people haven't taken much time at all to put their names in the ring. And so for you, you are a political commentator. You are also involved within the political scene.
Yep.
Just remind me again what you do in Canada.
So I'm in the Hamilton Center, which is like a very like this would be like in your country a Lib Dem riding. They're very much that type of place. So it's but I'm the what is called the riding president at the federal and provincial level. So because we have these elections coming up this year, provincially and federally, by the looks of things, I'm usually the guy. I usually hang back and wait for the election year to help organize things because you know that's the kind of role I see for myself as the guy who's the regular manager of this particular riding.
2025 is going to be one hella busy for you. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. So, with that being said, with you being political commentator, but also as well working within the political scene,
Mm.
who do you envisage is going to throw their name into the ring when it comes to trying to be the next Prime Minister of Canada?
I'd have to double check who the people are still in. I always thought Melanie Joly would do it. My ex-fiance, she was a liberal staffer, and she once told me the problem with Krista Freeland being a leadership candidate is she doesn't like to gland hand. She doesn't like to do kiss up to all the riding presidents and to do all that kind of work. She's really a behind-the-scenes player. And like I said, I just don't think she wants to go from being deputy prime minister to a leader of probably a party that's going to have 20 seats. Uh, there is a name that's I mentioned earlier. Someone got their website up and going, and he would be familiar to people in the United Kingdom. His name is Matt Carney, and he's the former head of your bank, the Bank of England, and he's
Yeah.
been the previous Bank of Canada president. So that's the one name that's already appeared. There's a few other people I imagine that will go. I think though the Liberal Party has been desperately needing a woman to be their front person for a long time. They've never had a liberal woman at the top of the party. And I just think, given the nature of that political party being liberal progressive, they're going to elect a woman.
They want a Hillary Clinton that shiz, really, in the
Yeah,
grand scheme of
Christian
things,
Freeland would definitely
right?
fill the bill on that. But like I said previously, I think she's probably going to go get a job in the private sector working for like the WEF or something like that.
Okay, so essentially, now that Justin Trudeau has resigned, he has said that he'll essentially be a caretaker for
Yeah.
the role until the next prime minister is elected. How soon do you think that could be? What will
It looks like
happen next
April,
in
so
all of
he's
that?
prorogued the parliament, which means it's kind of like in a recess mode. This is usually what you do before you go home for the winter holidays or something like that. So he's done that. It usually what happens, it does mean a whole lot of bills that were in process are kicked to the back of the line. It cancels all bills that don't have royal assent that were being pending. So that's something that he's going to have to deal. So I'm sure there will be people upset about that. All the private members' bills that just disappeared. But yeah, so that will give the Liberals 3 months to run a leadership and possibly they'll have their leader. Whether or not that leader will be sitting in Parliament, that's a weird thing that can happen here in Canada, where the leader doesn't necessarily sit in Parliament. Patrick Brown provincially was famous for being leader for a year before he got himself a seat in the legislature. But we had a lot of party debt, so he made that the priority of getting fundraising us out of a black hole. So
Right.
yeah, so we'll see. And if they want to have the NDP has said they're going to vote no confidence. They were waiting until February when the NDP leadership team's pensions vest, which I found just so Canadian politics. I'm like, our entire country is being held hostage to one man's pension.
Well, all I've got to say in response to all of that is this: Keir Starmer, take note. Follow Justin Trudeau's example and resign immediately with effect. Goodbye. Your ratings are as low. They're lower than shiz, really, at this point. He needs to go the same way as Justin Trudeau. And oh my goodness, that rhymed. Absolutely loved that. With that being said, guys, if you appreciated this video and you want more, and believe me, of course, there's going to be more, then please do make sure you subscribe to our Alternate Tribe here on Political Nerds. Just to spoke out today in response to the backlash in terms of the government's handling of the whole grooming gang scandal here in the UK. I provided an in-depth linguistic analysis of what he said. And guys, it's scary what he did say, but it's even scarier what he didn't say. So I'll make sure the link to that video is in the description bar below and at the end of this video. Thank you so much to the ledge himself, David March, for taking time out of his busy day to jump on and be my first collab here at Political Nerds. It's very fitting. We were discussing it before we filmed this video. It's very fitting. So thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate it. Please subscribe to join our alternate tribe here at Political Nerds. Like, share, all of that good stuff. And until the next time, you guys, laters.